Oh hey, welcome back to another video. So today we're going over one of my favorite vehicles of all time. I say this about a lot of cars, but this is the 2016 F82 BMW M4. This is a non-competition, and I've been getting a lot of requests to start doing videos on some older cars. This being, a 2016 with 82,000 miles. This was a daily driven M4. I just wanted to really highlight the reliability and the value proposition that these cars are starting to have. This one with 82,000 miles, if we were selling it here at my dealership, would probably sell at around $34,000 to $35,000, which is pretty sweet. I mean, you're getting 404 horsepower, track-rated brakes, gorgeous styling on the front end with this M-style front bumper here, these M kidney grills, and then you also have a lot of structural rigidity that a normal BMW 4 Series wouldn't have. For example, carbon fiber roof. It sounds absolutely phenomenal when you stamp on it. That is carbon fiber reinforced plastic. Underneath the hood here, you've got a really cool intercooler. This car, again, is getting wholesaled, so it doesn't typically, we don't sell cars that look like this at BMW Cincinnati North. Also, BMW Cincinnati North, thank you for letting me borrow this video. Check our vehicles out in the vehicle link in the description below. You've got carbon fiber reinforcement all on the strut towers. So if you're bending into corners at high speeds, this car is going to stay very flat. It's not going to like bend or shift as much as like a regular car would. You also have a massive intercooler here on the top of the engine, so this cools down the air that comes into the vehicle and keeps the car running at a nice cool temperature. You've also got beefed up oil filter housing, so it's built to take higher pressure for the oil to keep the turbos running good without getting them all bound up. And 404 horsepower, and it sounds pretty darn good. This car features the S55 engine, so I'm gonna get you guys a little cold start here. Kind of sounds like a vacuum cleaner. That was like a lukewarm start. That wasn't really cold, but this revs not. That was with the exhaust closed from inside the vehicle. All right, it's rev limited, so it doesn't sound that good. I do apologize, but we'll fix that a little bit later. One of my favorite things about this car is the fact that it has these cloth seats. This is actually pretty close to the spec that I would get on my own M4. The cloth seats are really nice because you still get the adjustable side bolsters, but it's not gonna get hot, and you're not gonna notice the wear and tear as time goes on. I mean, this thing has 82,000 miles, and it still looks like it's practically brand new. On the tires, you have Michelin Pilot Sport tires wrapped around 19-inch rims and the M-style brakes. So you've got 6 pistons in the front and then a regular 2-piston in the rear of the car. Trunk space, as you guys know, we always have to climb into the trunk here on this channel. I think that it's possible that I could take a little nap in here if I really wanted to. Let's see. Uh-oh. All right. Yeah, that's pretty decent. I would give this trunk it's a solid 7 out of 10, maybe 7.4. And then the color on the outside of this car is also one of my favorite colors that BMW offers. This is the Silverstone exterior. They now offer this in seat color, but I really love the way that it just looks on this paint. They don't make it really on any of the modern ones, but this car has held up extremely well, and BMW M cars are just a lot more fun. And if you can get something like this for mid $30,000, it's probably a pretty good one. Let's go ahead and take this thing out for a ride because I think we're getting kicked out. All right, so inside of the M4, again, this is a non-comp, so you're racking just over 400 horsepower here, 404 horsepower, and plenty of torque to boot. I think it's around 420 foot-pounds of torque if my memory serves me. But you've got this beautiful carbon fiber trim on the inside of this car, merino leather wrapped steering wheel, and merino leather here on the door cards as well. On the modern BMWs, I always suggest that you go for the full leather as opposed to the extended leather. But on this one, I love the cloth seats. They just stay so clean, and they just are very, very low maintenance. Also, the cool thing is about this generation of M4 is it still features a DCT transmission. Our newer cars feature a ZF 8-speed automatic, but as you guys know, like the Lamborghini Aventador, it has a DCT transmission, and you get that percussiveness between the shifts. The other thing that separates an M car against a traditional regular BMW model is that you have the actual ability to switch between Sport Plus modes for your engine, Sport Plus modes for your suspension, so the car can lean and tuck into corners, and then even for your steering. The brakes are very aggressive. On the more modern cars, you can customize the actual level of braking as well, but on this generation, they didn't allow you to do that yet, but it still does a great job as far as... Oh, we've got some railroad tracks here. Even in sport mode, not that bad. But the car still does a great job as far as braking. It's really fast, it's rear wheel drive, and it makes you feel like you're actually driving a proper freaking sports car. The shifts are very snappy and it's a lot of fun. You've got a red line at like 7,500 RPMs, so it sounds really good whenever you get up into the RPMs. And if you get your downshifts just at the right spot, you're gonna get a lot of cracks and bangs and cool sounding stuff. I would probably suggest throwing a little exhaust on here, but these things are going to be an absolute monster here in the drift market. They're already starting to. You see videos all the time on Instagram, people taking these things out and spinning them out and just having great fun with them. That's because of the stiffness of this chassis and the way that it relays information back to the driver. The paddle shifters feel really good, so I would probably get this car in an automatic if it was my own. I probably wouldn't get the manual despite how fun it is. It's just more fun to slap the shifters around because of how fast it shifts. I think manuals are best whenever it's kind of underpowered because it makes you feel like you're more engaged with the vehicle. There is something special about ripping through some gears on like a big fast car. But if you're actually going to be driving this thing properly and taking it out on a road trip or even daily driving it, you can tune the DCT down to the point where it's really not too bad as far as your shifting goes. It's going to stay pretty level and not be too jerky. Sorry about these bumpy roads here, guys. We're getting to a little more smooth spot. But yeah, the M5 or the M4, great vehicle. The only thing that you need to know if you're starting to look for these is you may want to look for one that's produced after 2017, as that's going to have your newer iDrive. This iDrive is relatively limited, as it mainly is just going to have your Bluetooth functionality, not really going to have any kind of navigation. Well, it has navigation, but it's not going to be really like, it doesn't feel as modern as kind of like what 2017s do. The LCI came out for this car in 2017 that upgraded some of your technology here, added the support of Apple CarPlay, and overall just made it a little bit more daily drivable. But if you're just looking for a fun car with 400 horsepower that sounds really good on downshifts, the M4 is for you. I'm going to show you guys a little bit of a 0 to 60 test, and then we'll kind of wrap this video up with some final marks, and I will get back to you here in a minute. All right, so we're gonna do a 0 to 60 test in the M4 now. This car has a 3.9 quoted 0 to 60 time, so let's see how true that is. Whoa, okay, so we had a bad launch there, but this thing's fast. It hits boosts probably around, it feels like probably 3,200 RPMs, and it just goes to the moon after that. The chassis dynamics of the M4 make it really easy to just kind of throw around into corners. It stays very, very flat whenever you're driving and turning. There's not a lot of body roll, and the car is just a lot of fun. So if you're looking for a mid $30,000 super sports car, the M4 is for you. You can find great specs like this. You don't need to load them out with a ton of options for them to be a really, really great car. But if you guys are interested, BMW Cincinnati North, we have lots of other cool cars like this. There's a gray M4 that I'm going to link down in the vehicle description below. And if you're interested in other M cars, I will link a video to another M8 if you're wanting to see what the top level of this car kind of looks like down in the description below as well. But without further ado, guys, thank you so much for watching today's video, and I'll catch you guys later. Deuces.